change to a temple?
I'm sorry.
Did you change to temple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you start?
No, it's starting.
Oh, we started? Oh, well, it already was in.
Yeah.
After the fourth day of Navratri, we'll do a little chanting. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Deva, Navratri, Parvati, Mahadeva. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Deva, Navratri, Parvati, Mahadeva. Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, That would be number 2. And in a few minutes we'll have a story if you ladies can stay, or otherwise there's food going. So number 2. Now we'll have a discourse, a story. Our favorite genre of the day. And as I said, it's an interesting story about the Divine Mother saving.
Come close, Rita, so you can hear it. Okay, you sit with me.
All right.
Thank you. In times out of mind, when all beings were immensely greater than they are in these diminished times, there was a demon, a Danava, called Durgama. Durgama once thought to himself that the Munis, who sustain Dharma in the three worlds, have their strength from the sacred books, the Vedas. For it is with these mantras and these fire ceremonies prescribed in these sacred books that they worship the devas, who in turn are sustained by their worship. If the Vedas could be destroyed, that demon calculated, so could the Muni's power, and then the devas themselves could be destroyed. So Durgama took himself to the highest Himalaya peak and sat in freezing drifts of snow and began an intense, unequaled meditation. He worshipped Brahma, the creator of all the races, in the space within his heart, unflinching, never opening his eyes, breathing just once or twice every hour, that great demon sat yoked in his single obsessive purpose. 1,000 years passed, and that Asura's Dhyan grew so powerful that the Tejas, the luster from his head, spiraled through the three worlds as subtle fire. All the finer realms were pervaded by this heat, and the Devas grew terrified. No god can ignore such tapasya as Durgama sat in. And at the end of 1,000 years, Brahma appeared before him. Brahma was mounted on his white swan. Durgama was dazzled by the splendor of the four-faced apparition, and opening his eyes, prostrated his emaciated form before the Creator. Brahma said, "Ask what boon you want of me, Asura, and it shall be yours." "Lord of the world," replied the demon, "let the Vedas belong only to me. Let the power of every mantra in all four Vedas suffuse me, so that I can conquer the Devas and be sovereign of this world. From this moment, let no one else have the Vedas but me." After his searing penance, Brahma could not refuse what he asked. Brahma, however, is the author of the Vedas, so he flinched to hear what the demon wanted. But he said, "Let it be so," and vanished. At once, all the holy people, the Brahmanas, forgot the Vedas. No longer did they perform the sacred rituals, the fire ceremonies, and other pujas that keep harmony in all things and peace and light in the world. No more did they offer worship to the devas. The rites of Homa and Shraddha and Yagya and Japa and all the rest became extinct, as if they had never been. No longer did the gods receive the offerings that make them strong, and with which they in turn nurture the worlds. A dreadful cry arose from the three worlds, as if the very soul of creation had perished. The holy people, the Brahmanas, trembled and wailed, "How has this happened?" Soon everything was to be explained. The demon Durgama, radiant with the immense power of the Vedas, shining like 10 suns, arrived at the gates of heaven and blew an echoing challenge on his word conch, like the thunder of the apocalypse. The Devas were so weak, they fled from the demon, knowing that they could not fight him in their condition. Indra and his people hid in the secret caverns of Mount Sumeru and began to worship the Divine Mother. Meanwhile, while the holy people having lost the Vedas, all homas, all fire ceremonies ceased on earth. Great epidemics stalked the world. Terrible plagues visited the sons of men, and even the natural beasts suffered, since not a drop of rain fell. Rivers and pools, tanks and lakes all ran dry. A savage drought swept the earth. Indeed, for 10 years this drought lasted, and millions perished. Man and beast, bird and insect, and even the plants of the world. Corpse and bones were strewn across the lands, and in the case of men, no one could be found to perform the last rites or even set the dead alight, so that their souls may be gathered to their fathers on high. The Brahmanas of the earth met together and climbed the blessed Himalaya, and there sat in tapasya to the Divine Mother, Devi Bhagavati. Ceaselessly they chanted her sacred names and begged her to save the world. At last, pleased by their devotion, the Divine Mother, Devi, appeared before those Brahmanas one day. She was effulgent. She was black as coal. She was four-armed with a bow and a quiver, a lotus and the bright seeds of life in her forehead. She was entirely beautiful, and when the Brahmanas prostrated themselves at her feet and begged her to help them, it is told the Devi suddenly had 1,000 eyes all over her dark body. These eyes were wide open and full of grief to see her bhaktas, her children, in such misery. She began to weep from those 1,000 eyes, and her tears flowed as precious streams and rivers down into the world. Then she raised her fourth hand and scattered the divine seeds she had in them everywhere. From them sprang up fruit trees and every kind of plant and vegetable, grass and grain, all over the famined world. The Devi's tears rose into heaven as vapor, and thunderstorms lashed the parched earth, which drank down the life-giving water in gratitude. When all this happened in less time than it takes to tell, the Devas also emerged from the caves where they were hiding, where they huddled in fright like hunted animals. They drank the tears of the Devi's mercy and were renewed by them. And with the Brahmanas, they too began to sing hymns to the Divine Mother of the universe. She fed them unearthly roots and fruits with her own hands, and they had their strength back. For her 1,000 eyes that wept in mercy, the Devi was called Sataksi. And for the precious green food she gave the starving Brahmanas and Devas, and indeed the earth, she was called Sakambari. Now the Devas and Brahmanas implored her, "Mother, please restore the Vedas to us, or how will we sustain even ourselves, let alone the three worlds?" Meanwhile, the sinister Durgama, who ruled the three worlds, now heard the thunderstorm of the Devi's tears. He saw lightning gash the sky and knew that danger threatened. That demon set out for the Himalayas with a huge army. Seeing him come, the Devas and Brahmanas cried to the Devi in terror, "Save us, Bhagavati, or we will die." Smiling, she drew a luminous circle of protection around them with her hand. She stayed outside the circle herself. Durgama and his army arrived, and a frenzied battle broke out. The face of the sun was covered with a blizzard of arrows, so darkness fell over the world, and the archers of both sides could not see clearly anymore. The mountain shook with the virile twanging of bowstrings. Pierced with 1,000 asura shafts, the Devi gave a scream to freeze the rivers of the mountain. She grew vaster still, brighter still, and now from her body there issued the Mahashaktis, the ferocious goddesses Kalika and Tarini, Tripura, Bhairavi, Kamali, Vakali, Mohini, and 10,000 others. They sprang howling from her dark body of the Devi Bhagavati in a moment. And in a moment, too, the rampaging Shaktis consumed 100 demons with fire, banks of arrows, immense swords that hewed the heads off 10,000 demons at once. And some of the more savage goddesses swept up 1,000 asuras and stuffed them into their mouths wide as valleys and chewed on them, their screams echoing from sheer mountainside, and their blood flowing down the Shakti's jowls like Beetlejuice. Durgama's roars shook heaven and earth. In a frost, he charged the Shaktis with his other 900 legions. 10 days and nights that battle lasted. On the 10th night, Durgama performed a long and potent ritual of darkness, invoking the Atharva Veda, and on the 11th morning he came to battle smeared in red sandalwood paste, wearing vermilion garlands, like a crimson mountain himself. He came in his black crystal chariot like a second ominous sun risen at dawn. With the arcane strength from the Vedas coursing through his body, this great Asura faced the Mahashaktis. They fought for barely an hour, and then those elemental women fled from him, for he was irresistible. Durgama came face to face at last with the Devi Bhagavati. They were like two figures out of a cosmic dream of darkness and light. The Devi entirely beautiful, serene and potent, and the demon dread incarnate, evil embodied. For 12 hours they fought, and while they did, the earth no longer rotated on her axis. She was so terrified with their contention. The sun stood still at his zenith, gazing down in awe at that battle. The Devas and the Brahmanas and the Asuras, whom the Shaktis had not slain, all cowered in terror at his ferocity. Then, with a roar that sent avalanches hurling down the mountain slopes, the Divine Mother loosed 15 sizzling arrows at Durgama in the blink of an eye. The first 4 killed the Asura's horses, the 5th beheaded his driver, and the 6th and 7th put out Durgama's eyes. The 8th cut down his flagstaff, the 9th and 10th severed his arms, and the last 5 smashed into his heart, so it blew apart in an explosion of blood. The demon fell at the Devi's feet, and as the Devas and Brahmanas watched, wonderstruck, a lucific light of his spirit emerged from his body and merged with the Bhagavati. The Devas and Rishis fell on their faces before the Devi and sang her praises. They saw that in her delicate hands, which has strewn the seeds of plants across the earth, there shone something else now, blinding. With an ineffable smile, she returned the Vedas to the Brahmanas and vanished. And because she slew the demon Durgama, she was known as Durga from then on. Mahadurga Mata Ki Jai. Vishveshwari Mata Ki Jai. Bole Baba Ki Jai. Any questions or comments? I've read and heard these stories so many times, and every time I do, it's even more touching and more significant. So I'm very grateful to be able to read these and fully love Akita. We'll have darshan of our beautiful mother who's calling people from all over the world here right now to celebrate her day. So thank you for being here. Baba Ki Jai.